Good morning, first graders. Welcome to art. Today we will need a writing utensil and a piece of paper. We're going to be drawing the phases of the moon today, and that's something that you talk about in first grade with noticing the changes in the sky of the sun and moon. So I think this will be fun. So get your writing utensil and I will show you step by step how we're going to do this today. Okay, we are going to be starting in the top left corner of our paper here. And we will start with a drawing of the new moon. So actually, we're going to do our first circle here. Now, it's okay if your circle isn't perfect. You might be drawing it with pen like me, and if you make it a little bit off from a normal circle, that's fine. This is just for fun. Okay, so then we're gonna actually draw 3 more circles going across the top. So we're gonna have to kind of squish these in. So we'll do another circle. And I'm making them kind of big, but I'm still leaving room for 2 other circles off to the side. So another circle. And one more. Here. Okay, so we have our 4 circles, and we're going to do the same thing underneath. So we're going to do 4 circles across the bottom. And that's because there are 8 phases of the moon that we're going to draw. Okay, we have our 8 circles. Now we'll go back to our very first one at the top, and this is going to be our new moon. And the new moon looks dark. It's going to be all filled in. It's when you can't see the moon from where we are on Earth. So I'm going to take my pen here and just draw some lines across the whole thing so I remember when I color it to color this one in dark. Okay, next we have the waxing crescent. So you're going to make a backwards C across the inside of your circle. And that's because there's going to be a little bit of the moon that's starting to show, and we call that a waxing crescent. And so let's draw our dark lines in on the bigger part of the moon. That's the part we're going to color in dark when we color. Okay, next moon, so we're going this way. In fact, we can draw some little arrows to show how the moon changes or how it looks different. It's going first this way, then this way. Next, we have the first quarter moon. For this one, we're going to draw a line straight down the middle. And we are going to color in the side that's closest to our last moon. So put some lines there so you know which side is dark. Look, so this one was all the way dark. This one's mostly dark, but a little white showing. More white is showing now. And our next one, even more white is going to show. So we're going to take another backward C here, or actually a forward C, and we're going to come inside our moon like this to draw that. And our dark part got smaller and smaller each time. So here's our dark part now. And look, our light part is getting bigger, so we're seeing more of the moon. Okay, and this is called a waxing gibbous. Okay, the next one, we're going to come down to see what happens next. Next, we have something called the full moon, where we see the whole sphere of the moon, the whole circle. So we're going to leave that one white. And then we come next to it, and we have a waning gibbous. So we're going to draw one of our small C's here again. And this time, our shadow is coming from the other side. Before we had it here, and now it's going to be this side, shaded in. And then next we're going to come to our third, sorry, this is called a waning gibbous, and this one is our third quarter moon. And we're going to shade in this side again. So look, it's getting a little more shadow here. And I bet you can guess this next one, we're going to do our waning crescent. And so we're going to have our backward C, or, oh, for you it's a forward C, and this area is darker. So our shadow grew each time. And after that, we're going to see the moon go back to the new moon phase. So each of these phases has a name, and it rotates through all of these each month. Okay, so to color our moons, you can have fun with this. You can decide if you want to do realistic colors, or if you want to choose some of your own colors, because this is your own moon. So maybe you want to make your moon blue or yellow or purple. So whatever you decide is okay with me. Sometimes with art it's kind of fun to take something that's real and put it together with something that's from your imagination. So I'll probably do a little bit of both here when I color my moons. Now there's something important I forgot to do. I bet you didn't forget, and that is to write my name. And so let's see, let's make sure I have this the right way here. Okay. So I'm going to sign my name in the bottom right corner. And now I can color. So if you are just using a pencil and no colors, you can go back in and shade in all these dark areas really dark with your pencil. And if you want to, you can even draw in some moon spots. You see how the moon has craters and things like that when you look at it up in the sky. So you could do that too. All right, I'm going to be using some yellow, blue, and gray. And you know, I think that I'm going to share this video with the second graders as well, because did you know that they learn about the same thing? So you're both learning a lot about the night sky and the science behind that. Okay, so my moon is going to have a yellowish glow, and I'm going to do some spots on my moon like this. Kind of looks like cheese, and so I'm going to do that on all of the parts that are the light part of the moon. I'm going to leave the dark side for my blue and gray. Okay, so then looks like I did that going the other direction. I'm going to come back around. So now we have the dark moon. This has no moon showing, and then it starts to show again down here. This is what we see in the sky, and we see a little more. a little more. And last, we're gonna see the whole moon. So our full moon here. And one of my favorite things when I looked in a telescope at the moon one time was seeing all those little ridges and craters on the moon. So cool if you get a chance to do that. Okay, now we're going to do some gray and blue. I'm going to, and if you'd like to, you can too. And this is the shadow part. I'm gonna mix these. So today I'm using markers, but you could be using crayons or colored pencils, whatever you want, whatever you have nearby. You could use chalk pastels or oil pastels, or even paint. Anything like that would work. Okay. All right. I like how this is showing the light and the dark next to each other. It's a nice contrast. Okay, and then, and our last, this full moon down here doesn't have any shadow on it. Last, I'm going to take my blue marker and fill in the white spaces in my shadows. I like to get things filled in where I can. So I'm going to just take this and color in these little cracks there. Now my shadow's gray and blue. It's kind of fun. And remember, with your markers, you can experiment. You can use the tip if you're using marker, or the side of the marker, and it will be thicker line if you lay it on its side. So it depends what you're doing, what you want to do with your marker. Now after you draw this, it would be fun to go outside and see if you can see the moon. And if you can't see it, keep watching through the day and the night and see if which phase of the moon you can see. Or maybe you already know because you were already watching, which is awesome too. I'm gonna have to go check. I don't know which phase it is in right now. Alright, these are some kind of cool shadowy designs here. Do this one. Okay, and then we're coming down to this, shadows are getting bigger. I'm going to try using more of the side of my marker here to see what that looks like. It's kind of fun. Made like a different shape inside the shadow. And there we go. And one more. Okay, we did it, our 8 phases of the moon. Now, if you're like me, sometimes I like to put labels when I do a diagram like this, especially for the second graders who are watching. If you'd like to follow along with me and label our moons, you could do that. So we have a new moon. Okay, got our new moon here, and then our waxing crescent. Okay, here's our waxing crescent, and then our first quarter moon. And our waxing gibbous. And I don't know why it's called a waxing gibbous. I don't really know what that means, so that would be an interesting thing to look up and find out where that name came from. Okay, and then we're going to come down here to our full moon. I bet you knew that name. And our waning gibbous. Okay. And then we have our third quarter moon. Okay, and last, our waning crescent. Okay, there it is. All right, so I hope you enjoyed drawing the phases of the moon and coloring them in. And please go outside and look for that moon and see what phase it's in. And you can find it on your map here, your little diagram, and you'll know what it's called. And have a great day. Bye.